and welcome back to Sharon Cullen Art. Today I will be doing part 2 of the review on the Etchr Lab Art Satchel, and I'm going to be painting in the field and seeing how well it would work for somebody with disabilities. Let's get started. Today I'm going to be trying out my new Art Satchel bag by Etchr Lab, and I have it on my back and I have not been feeling well, and my asthma's acting up because it's fall now and that's when I get my worst. So I'm out of breath just in a few steps. I think I'm just going to stick around on my property, find something to paint here. There's a lot of pretty woods all around me, so I'm going to look for a spot to paint. We're going to set this puppy up and see how it works. I think I see a spot over here that I'd like to try. It's cold here today. Well, not cold, but it's in the 50s. So yesterday it was hot and muggy. It wasn't hot, but it was like 80 with 120% humidity. And today it is like 52, 53 degrees, and it's beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to be showing the full setup here so that you can see what it's actually like. Please keep in mind, though, that I will likely get much faster at the setup after I use this several times. So here I'm basically just removing supplies that I'll be using from the little pockets that are on the inside, and taking off my field case because that's holding my brushes. And now I'm moving the strap from the backpack way of carrying to the over-the-shoulder seated setup. Except I put it on backwards, and so I'm going to have to flip it around. That's another thing I probably would speed up on after I do it several times. Now here I'm setting up the sketchbook. I'm putting on the little stretchy cords that Velcro down to the desktop, and I will slide my wire-bound sketchbook through that. Here I've just grabbed the tape so that I can mask the edges on my book. Okay, so here I'm finally getting started with the sketch. I'm just dropping in the hill line and 3 trees, and then I'll get started painting. Now here I realized that my brushes were on the other side of the case, so I had to flip it to get my travel brushes out. Even after 12 minutes 20 seconds, I'm still not completely set up. This I did not even count in my total setup time. Getting my sketchbook again reset because it was down too close to my stomach, getting my watercolors out, setting up my water, getting the rest of my brushes, all of that needed to be done. I told you about my issue I thought I was going to have with water when I did the first portion of the video. And I like having these little things to put brushes in so I don't lose them. I think I'm going to move this one up here though. But I had this little doohickey here, and I had it on this clip, and this clip then wants to bend like this and tip because there's nothing under it to support it. So when I was putting it on my thing, it would do this, and I was afraid I was going to lose it. So I got 2 little magnets, and I decided, there goes my watercolors, I decided to put them on underneath here to hold this up, so now it can't tip. And if I turn it this way, since I'm tilting sort of upward, if I tilt it this way, then I put my water on here, I don't have a problem. See, I can wiggle and make, it's all set. So I needed my spray bottle to spray my watercolors, and I realized it was on the inside of the bag. I had already turned it inside out and set up my desktop. So in order to get that, I would have had to take all that stuff off the top and go and dig on the outside, which is on the inside right now, in order to get my spray bottle. It just wasn't worth all that. So I just used my brush to wet everything down. I'm starting to get cold here, so I'm trying to cover up my thumbs. Now here I'm going back over the trees. They've dried, and I'm adding a little more color to them, but then I go ahead and wet it so that I don't have any hard edges. I just want a little bit of shadowing on the trees with the light shining on the right-hand side.
Look at your eyes, you're so damn surprised. I bet you didn't know that I'd actually go away. I packed my bags and I called up a taxi on the telephone. You won't be seeing me no more. You just don't seem to please me. That's why I'm saying goodbye to you.
I've had people ask me before how I can paint a forest because they get overwhelmed by everything that they see in front of them. And as you can see from the photo, it's very different from what I'm painting. I find something in that forest that I am attracted by, and I make that my focal point, and I'll drop a lot of the background trees out or whatever to make that focal point stand out, and that's all I'm doing. You just drop the superfluous stuff that you don't want in there and leave the rest. Make it your own.
I met a girl on the slopes. Her name is Inga. She likes to play Monopoly and drink Irish beer. She taught me how to laugh by tickling me in the ribs, 'cause that's where I'm ticklish. She likes to see me squirm. She really seems to please me. That's why I'm staying here. So I wish you well, no hard feelings. So I'm staying in Helsinki, where the world is upside down, and I can make snow angels in the ground without you. Oh, so I'm going to Helsinki to forget about my life for just a little while. So I'm going to Helsinki, where it snows all summer long, so I can make snow angels in the ground without you. So I'm going to Helsinki to forget about my life for just a little while. Oh yeah.
I'm not proud of where I've ended up. I'm ashamed of certain things I've done. But out of all the scratches, there's a cut that bleeds the worst. Every time I count my blessings, I count you first. Every time I count my blessings, I count you first. Every time I count my blessings, I count you first. I'm afraid I might have given up. I'm afraid I'm running low on love. I'm afraid that in the end you're more than I deserve. Every time I count my blessings.
If you're putting branches on after you've applied all the leaves, make sure that you put spaces between the branches, dropping them off, then picking them up again so that it looks like the leaves overhang on the branches in some areas. That keeps it from looking flat.
My blessings, I count you first. In this cold and misty world, would you be my little light? Just for atmosphere, I don't need it to see by. I know that you can promise me your whole heart if you're honest, dear, but 51% would be just fine. Every time I count my blessings, I count you first. Every time I count my blessings, I count you first. Every time I count my blessings, I count you first. Oh, every time I count my blessings, I count you first. I'm aware you'll never be enough.
Darn, I got a little green on my tree and now my tree turned green. So what I'm going to have to do is go in with some white afterward to fix that green spot.
There's a goal that I've unearthed. Every time I count my blessings, I count you first.
Okay, so I'm too cold. I'm bundled up now and I gotta go in to finish this. But packing and unpacking took a long time. The tear down probably was a little quicker because I just started shoving stuff away, but it is heavy. I think it's causing some back spasms on me, and it's very comfortable on your lap though. It is so comfortable. It kept my legs warm and everything was pretty easy to handle. The only thing is I kept thinking, boy, I wish I had my spray bottle. It was on the inside of the fold once I had inverted it inside out, and I thought, well, heck with it. I'm not going to use my spray bottle now, because I would have had to take everything off the top of the desktop, go inside. Sorry, my phone's dinging in your ears. Go inside the pocket to get my water bottle, then put it all back together again. And I guess if I was organized enough, that would be fine. Or maybe I'll find a different place to put that stuff on the inside where my table tray is, so that when I'm doing this, I can reach everything that I need. Boy, I look like Bozo with my hair. But anyway, I'm all done. I'm carrying it on my back right now here. I got my tripod and everything on my back. And I would say that I am probably at about, I don't know, 12 to 15 pounds, which would be about my max. Anything more than that, and my back is done for the day. So, and I'm only carrying it up my driveway from that barn area down there is where I was sitting. I didn't have far to walk, just up my driveway. I also have my chair over my shoulder, but that is very lightweight. So I'm going to go inside, warm up, and then finish the painting. Okay. Just want to put some light on here. Cheating a little bit, but yeah, I wanted to add some light to that. And then I do have to, gosh, it's leaking all over my table and everything. It's been a while since I used acrylic. In this pocket over here, let me back you out again. I had everything in here, but it was all flipped inside out on the inside. So to get it was gonna be heart-wrenching. Okay, so my final thoughts on the Etchr Lab Artist Satchel, or Art Satchel. I'm just going to go over some pros and cons here. One of the great pros is that it is versatile. It is so versatile. There are so many options available to please all artists, whether you like to sit and draw, sketch, paint, whatever, or whether you like to stand and paint, or whether you like to use an easel on a tripod or a desktop easel, whatever the case may be. There are just so many options. And if you're traveling, this would be a great option for carrying lots of supplies, like when I go up north to my other home, or you know, international travel for that matter. It could be a great option to have. For somebody who's not disabled, I think it is a terrific bag. Secondly, though, the con is that it is so versatile and that there are so many options. There are almost too many options that make using the option you choose kind of cancel itself out and be obsolete. Like my issue with the spray bottle today. You've got to remember everything that you need to remove from the bag prior to setting up your desktop or whatever, because once you've set it up, then you're going to have to remove things and take it apart in order to get into other areas of your bag, if it's on the inside, the outside, inverted, whatever. That was a real con. And also, as one of my viewers put it in her comment, she felt like she would need a PhD in engineering just to use it because there were so many options. Now, in their defense, I have to say that using the bag for the first time is very fumbly. You've got to learn how to use the bag. There is a learning curve, and they know that. They say that right in their video if you went and watched their demonstration video. They make it look very easy, and I think it gets easier with time. I plan on continuing to use this. It would have to be on my good days, though. The other thing, another pro, is that it's very comfortable to work on. Once I had it set up and had it on my lap or in the seated position with the strap over my shoulder, the strap is very well padded. It's very comfortable. There's no strain on the neck. It was so comfortable to work on my lap. I had a great large surface to work on, and those tabs that you use to hold your pages down, I loved for putting brushes in, for also putting the clip on to hold my water bottle up. You could use them again to put magnets on to hold your watercolor palette up if you're using a steel palette. There are lots of options there for that as well. But a con is that it is very heavy, 7.3 pounds with the field case included, otherwise 5.3 pounds, before you put your supplies in. So just keep that in mind. If you're disabled and have weight limitations like I do, then it could be a difficult thing for you. So take that with a grain of salt. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed this review and it was helpful for you. I'm going to see if there are any other products out there that would be useful for those who are disabled. I have my eye on one, and I will keep you posted on that. That's my finished painting. This is another one I was working on, trying to work on light rays going through the trees. I love this concept, but I have to practice it before I can put it online. But the light on the trees was a little bit easier. I also have this one here on the cover that I did. And I just put book tape over it. I like to do that because these covers are kind of like cardboard, chipboard or whatever. So putting something over it with a plastic cover is kind of nice. So that's what I do with my books. But anyway, that's it, you guys. Remember, be courageous, paint with wild abandon, and most of all, be kind to each other. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.